All right, guys. So we've got an interview in store for you guys today. We've got Aasiyah and a lot of stuff to unpack. But we'll get started. Aasiyah's been a member of REMC Launch, and today's interview, really the goal is to unpack how Aasiyah got started, some of her golden nuggets, and then just for anyone that's watching right now, like what it takes to succeed in the online business marketplace. With out of the way, let's start off with you, Aasiyah. Like, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What's your background? I think you're a school student right now, so we'll go from there. We'll start there.
Hi, my name is Aasiyah Basic, and I am currently a third year biological sciences student at the University of Calgary. My background is in healthcare and pharmacy, most specifically. I do have my whole family in business and entrepreneurship and real estate as well. So I've always been interested in real estate. I do have a big network as well of like realtors and successful business owners. And so I was always trying to get my foot in the door with real estate. I thought about becoming an agent. I thought about a lot of different streams. And then I stumbled upon Prab's ads one day and I kept thinking about it and I was like, hey, like I haven't gotten my foot in the door. How can I start? And so I looked into it a little bit more, had a coaching call, had all that kind of stuff, got onboarded and started REMC in about January. And I have been successful with it, which is really nice. Obviously, with progress and hard work, things will pay off. And so I've been able to start my own coaching business and like business marketing agency. And I'm doing a done for you version right now, hoping to move into the done with you and just work with real estate agents. I'm currently in the process of getting my real estate license, actually, just to be able to connect with that side of real estate as well. But it's been a good, successful journey so far. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. I think just the fact that we'll do it while you're in university is already impressive. It's I used to do biology back in the day, and then I went to psychology, but it's a lot of stuff to balance. That's really good. Yeah, I think for a lot of people that are watching right now, I think it is helpful that when your family or your friends, or like people around you that are already in entrepreneurial space. I think I really believe by environment. So like when you have mastermind network, I think for you is you particularly said your family, right? Were you in real estate, correct?
Yeah, so my grandma owns a lot of plazas and a lot of like restaurants and stuff in Calgary. So she's been doing that for over 20 or actually almost 40 years now. So our family's been in it for a while.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. Well, I think you mentioned that you had seen the ad. But like I know a lot of people can probably relate to especially some like the female viewers that are watching, but like what really motivated you to like click on the ad? Like what was it? That like what's the number one reason? I'm just curious.
I think for me, it was like the accessibility of being able to do it anywhere because like my schedule is so busy. Like I still have my hospital jobs that I'm employed in, school, all that kind of stuff. So being able to do something from home, from school, from really anywhere was like intriguing to me and something that I didn't have to like go into like a place for, something that I could kind of make my own schedule with. So that was really what intrigued me. And then especially too, like you don't see a lot of females specifically like leading these kind of things. You see them kind of as like possibly like assistants or something like that. And like I've always been the type of person to like want to chase my dreams, and I've never wanted to like be someone's assistant for like prolonged period of times or like helping someone out. I wanted to always do it myself, and so doing this really just proved to me that I can do it. So
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. And so you joined in a bit, I think January, and then I don't know how long it's been, maybe a little bit over 90 days. I'm not sure, but or less than that. I don't know the exact date you came on board, but walk me through like, sort of like how was the process? Like was it a learning curve for you, and what are
oh
some
it
things you picked up?
sorry go ahead. So for me, in the beginning, obviously when you see like the opportunity to make like, 10 to 30K a month, it's like, oh wow, like this is cool, right? But you have to understand at the same time, it's like it is very easy to generate this kind of income, but it's only easy if you put in the work. So the first couple months, like January to February for me was really like watching all the videos, like getting my business started, incorporating the business, getting all like the back end stuff done. Which did take me a while because I wanted to figure everything out for myself. I'm very analytical, so I needed to know every little like detail that just for myself and for like my own peace of mind. And then I was able to like help like teach my mom how to do stuff like that. And like I'm actually getting her to like start doing prospecting for me because she's very good at she's in business as well. So she has that background knowledge of like recruiting people. So for me, it was just to like get as much knowledge as possible in those first 2 months and then be able to like, emulate that onto other people and then just myself to like fully comprehend what I'm doing and how I can actually help people and what my scope is.
Definitely, yeah. I find myself the same way too. Like, I have to sort of like absorb everything before I feel confident pursuing, which is good. I think that probably explains, some of the success you had. And seemed like you said like your mom was helping you a little bit, so you had a little bit of leverage there, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just so busy. So sometimes my schedule is like, working 13, 14-hour shifts at the hospital or like having school for like 10 hours a day. And then I do a lot of other stuff on the side, like volunteering and running clubs and all of this because I want to do med school. So it's just like a lot of like, there's always something to be doing. So having that help is really obviously useful. And I want to work towards scaling into a team because once I have that, it's really just, how many calls can we do a day? How many people can we prospect instead of just when can I squeeze this into my schedule? So it's really nice to like try and have that shift now because it gives me a lot more free time.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think at the beginning it's definitely a little bit harder, like from what my experience, other people as well in the program. The hardest thing is like getting the launch phase, because
Yeah.
there's no testimonials, and then it's like very hard because oxygen, like cash with the oxygen for the business, if there's no cash flow coming in, then it's very hard for even buying back your time, right? So like I think you understood that part, and it's awesome. Like you already get it. Like just from what you said, you're like at a certain point, it just becomes getting appointments, closing appointments. And I always say this to people too, like up until about 100K a month, and like that's a seven-figure run rate. There's a lot of stuff you can do, right? Like there's always problems to solve, but it just becomes getting appointments, closing appointments, getting appointments, closing appointments, and then after that point, it becomes okay. How many of those appointments that show up? Can I maximize them? Can I do like a direct VSL? Can I do an indirect VSL? So there's a lot of stuff that it's there for sure. But walk me through your results. Like so far up until now, I think you're not running any paid ads, correct? It's just all organic and outbound.
Exactly. Yeah. So far, as of the last time I talked to Arjun, it was 20,000. Now it's 40,000 right now. And it's honestly like for me, I'm very like I'm always goal oriented, right? Like how much more can I be doing? So I'm very happy with that number, but I'm not at the same time, like I want to obviously keep going and keep pushing. Which is just a matter of like having that free time and being able to do it because I'm really grateful. Like I have a very like large network, which I've been able to like utilize as well. And then already get those like the trials and then get people like just to be testimonials and whatnot. So I had that in already, and then it's just a matter of like getting more people and just talking to more people every single day. So far it's 40,000 right now, and I would say that was from middle of February to middle of February to like right end of March. So in about 2 months, which is not too bad for me.
That's really good. Yeah, that's it's like what, like almost 20K a month or something. But yeah, I think like I want to touch upon the point that you said, like it's never enough. I think that of course at a certain point, like I know for myself, it was like it was a hard thing for me to like go over because it's like you're never satisfied. But I think that's what drives a lot of people, like a lot of people that I know, and like a lot of mastermind groups. I mean, I see a common trait amongst all of them. Male or female doesn't matter. Like you look at the sports industry as well, like the people that achieve the highest sports accolades, like they're typically very competitive in nature. I think it's very good, to be competitive. You always can never be satisfied. I think for many people that are just starting out right now, people are like, well, 20K a month's a lot of money, like 40K, like that's like a yearly salary in like 2 months. But I think for people that are at the level, what ends up happening is, to get to that point, like you have to become a certain type of person. So like my question for you is like, were you always competitive, or was it something that you started embarking on once you started joining and like into the business space? Like, is that something that you had developed, or was it always a trait?
So I'm currently sitting in my room right now and I'm looking ahead at like 14 trophies that are hanging up in my room. I've been competitive since I was like 5 years old. I've always like my family, we're all very like goal driven, goal oriented. So I grew up like do what you want, like achieve what you can do. And so I was in competitive sports for like 12 years of my life. In school, my only competition was myself. I was able to graduate high school early. I started college at 15 years old. I was always like doing like above what people expected of me. And it was just like just to prove to myself that I can, because I know my potential. And I think when you start to compare yourself to other people is when like you start to overthink, you start to like hesitate. And for me, like I always just look, where was I 1 month ago? Where was I 1 year ago? Like you always have to be remembering that like you're your only competitor and you can only move up like from where you were before. So
100%. Yeah. I think there's like a lot of things that people can learn just from that. Just like from a psychology standpoint, like you should only play games that like if you play games like for example, one game is like if you can work at other people, as a game you can never really win. Because okay, then you start comparing money, then you start comparing another trait, and then it's not going anywhere. It's like you go side to side, but you don't go forward. Whereas you compare with yourself, it's a little bit different, right? Because then you're it's like a psychological thing. Like I did a little bit of psychology university and goal setting, and as long as you like continues to remind your brain that a small goal and it's like the gratitude, right? That's a momentum because like with entrepreneurship, like what I realized in the past couple of years, like once you have momentum, you want to keep on pushing, and you want to ride the momentum, right? So definitely some really good things, and I think a lot of people that are listening right now, even if the customers, they can definitely learn from you because I mean, it would be great. What sport did you play, by the way?
so I did soccer, I did gymnastics, and I did taekwondo and martial arts.
Awesome.
I did everything, yeah. Different things, but yeah.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. I made a video too the other day on TikTok. The parents should put the kids in sports because it installs competitiveness. I was talking about a study because someone was bashing how kids shouldn't be competitive. But I think there's like a time and place, it definitely can benefit people, especially in a career setting or business setting. So moving forward, so of course, congrats on your success so far. And then I want to really unpack a little bit more about how specifically you got those first type of clients. So now a lot of people will do free trials because they don't have testimonials. Some people, they already come in the program, they already have testimonials. So you got like people like Mason, you got people like there's a lot of people like I just had some guys client wins chat in our Slack channel, like they had like a first 20K month, and the key point is they were running ads right away. So like a lot of people are, I think the biggest hurdle that a lot of people have inside of REMC launch is getting that first client. For me, it was definitely very hard. I ended up working for free without even ad spend. I would just like run free trials on the marketplace, and what ended up happening is I had one client which was like a hero client, and then that hero client referred a lot more clients to us, and that was my like entryway into like getting a little bit of capital so I can reinvest it into paid ads, and that paid ads just really carried us up into like a very high point. So for you, how was like that initial period? Like what specifically did you do to get that first client and then the other subsequent clients?
So, like I said, I was really lucky to have that network at first. So I really just reached out to friends. I was like, hey, like, everyone supports each other, like everyone just wants to see each other win, which is really nice as well. So it's like, hey, like, would you be interested in like joining a free trial for a bit, and then be a testimonial? So I had a couple of people do that. And then I had people who were just willing to be testimonials just to like, who I am and everything like that. And then I think the biggest thing is honestly, when you're confident in yourself, that exudes onto other people and they're more likely and more willing to kind of like, believe what you have to say and are willing to give it a try. So for me, I was just really like, hey, like this is a really good opportunity. Like I know who you are. I know that this is going to be a great thing for you. Try it out. If it doesn't work, no problem. So that was kind of like my basis for the first couple months and just like talking to everybody, because like you never know who's going to say yes. Like you can have an idea in your mind, like they may like appear to be so successful, they may appear to need no help at all, but like once you reach out, you really start to see how many people are like, yeah, of course, like I would love to do that. So I think it's always like, don't hesitate, don't like, oh, maybe they don't want to do it, or oh, maybe they'll say no. Just don't even think about it, just do it. And so that's something that I really really think helped a lot, and just being confident in like what I can provide and like what my services are was really good for me, helped a lot.
Yeah, that's a really good point because I like that, like there's another client, her name is Maytal, she's crushing it. And then I think she was in the personal development space. I think as a coach, or I'm not exactly sure, so I can't speak, but I know she's like she's a very good speaker, very good communicator, and she's very confident. I know that for sure. Like that definitely helped her out a lot more. Like I think in the beginning when I started, I was very introverted and shy, and over time, as you like just get into sales and your personality shifts, right? So I think I can already see that from you. I think that definitely did benefit you, and just that confidence, like there's like in every single sale, there's obviously the part of the product that's sale, there's the actual sales process, and there's the actual person. And then that's a big part of it. Because like we see it on our sales team too, like we have new people coming in all the time, and some people like they have all the sales recordings and everything, but the missing part is that charisma, it's that person. And that takes sometimes time to build. Sometimes people can get it right away. But that's a big part that people are missing. So like I think just to confirm, like you came in and with a client, and I think it was a real estate brokerage, and they started referring you other clients. And then now you're in the process of getting your real estate license as well, right? So tell me a little bit more about what motivated you, because I know there's a lot to unpack there, and we can sort of turn this into a little bit of a mastermind. But tell me a little bit more about that.
So, like I said, I've always been interested in real estate, and I think just the amount of opportunity and the scope of like what you can actually do with just one real estate license, because it's not just selling houses, which is what a lot of people think. Like there's investment opportunities, there's development opportunities, there's so much. And I take my own grandma as like an example, because she was able to come to Canada with like a grade 9 education, now has like multi-million-dollar properties, all of that kind of stuff. So just seeing what leverage can really do. And so I also wanted to get my real estate license to be able to like properly, what's the proper word to use, to just like be able to kind of relate to real estate agents a little bit more and be like, hey, I actually know what the struggles you're going through. I'm not just kind of like saying, oh, I know how it is, or oh, like this is probably hard for you. Once you are kind of like, once you develop all those skills and like become who your client is, you're able to help them 10 times more. You're able to scale their business more, and you're able to like scale your personal business more. So I think that was a really big thing for me, just being able to relate to my clients more. And in the future, if I did want to like, move into like the development side or the investment side, I would already have that like as an asset and as a tool just for myself. So I think that was a really important thing. And I think it's a really good thing for people in the REMC to do as well. Like if you really want to relate to your clients and share their experiences and their struggles, become a real estate agent just to have it on the side, which is, I think, a really good asset.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like I know that I'm in the process of getting my license, and that's for a different reason. But like I've always had like one or two like really close partners that are agents that I basically like I'll like literally set up the system for them. I'll call their leads and I'll test stuff out. Like right now I'm testing out like a home buyer webinar. And then like the key point is like one, the license of the course gives you the ability to test out things and get really detailed at the micro level, right? So I'm not sure if you follow Alex Hormozzi, but he's like a big entrepreneur and he's a gym space. He's like 1 million subs on YouTube now. He also says this too, like, if he wasn't a gym owner, he wasn't going to be able to coach gym owners at the highest level. So that's what I realized too for me is like when I was working really closely hands-on with a realtor, almost like it was my own real estate business and like calling up their leads and even attending their appointments with them, that's when I realized all the nuances that were missing. So that's one thing. I think also like when you have a real estate license, like you're able to definitely, like you said, developments, but in real estate, there's like a lot of new tradition, like there's a lot of new type of brokerage emerging, right? So you got EXP and they have the downline model, which allows you to earn passive income. And it's not only EXP, there's a lot of the brokerages like that, but I think anyone with like REMC or any coaching consulting business real estate, like they're able to use that as a leverage to attract people into the downline. And I've already seen some of our clients in our higher level programs, like one of our clients, Sammy, interviewed him earlier. He's doing it.
I actually know him now. I met him.
Yeah. He goes to Alberta quite a bit. I think you guys might be in the same organization, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I think he did this where like we talked about a hypothesis in our higher level call with the ES calls, and we said you can use this to build a portfolio of real estate coaching consulting companies. And he's a really fast action taker, so we did it, and he brought like 14 people in, and then he has equity in other business. So that's sort of like what we're also doing with me and Jazz is I'm not going to break it down too much and go sidetrack on the interview, but I had a video on my YouTube channel highlighting that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. The key point is that the real estate marketing skill set, it compounds, and you can use it for different things in the future. It might be in 2 or 3 years, you might be in a whole different game within the real estate industry. So yeah. All right, Aasiyah, and then like what's your tip? So I know people that watch this are sometimes customers or prospective customers. Let's just say they're in the program, nonetheless, right? Like, what do you think is the couple things that they should focus on to really get success?
I think it's to just not prolong it too much, don't hesitate too much. Obviously, there's going to be hurdles along the way. You're going to be skeptical at some point about certain parts of you, or maybe you're going to be not confident 100%, but just always remember to just do it. Like as much as it can be scary, as much as it can be nerve-wracking, you're never going to know your full potential unless you actually just try. So I think it's just keep on going. Don't let one or two hurdles, stop you or break your confidence. I think another thing is to really just be confident in yourself. Like if you know you can do it, you're going to end up doing it. Have that positive mindset and don't be thinking any negative thoughts, because that's when you start to become what you think. So always have that positive mindset and just keep going and know your potential and know what you can do, and you'll be able to achieve that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And like I think a lot of people, what happens in the program is like, or any program for this matter, is the beginning's obviously really hard, but you'll see it's like sort of a hockey stick. So like what we always say for a lot of people, and I think we'll talk about this next for you, is like, the next step. But like the first part, there's like a lot of outbound prospecting, getting our first couple clients. What we're really doing is like we're chasing clients and we're not attracting them. And whenever you chase, right, it's always going to be harder to get clients because you're going to them versus attracting, they're coming to you. So the biggest issue is that the chasing part, you got to learn outbound sales, you got to learn confidence, mindset, tonality. This all really, it might be demotivating, but what you're learning is the skill sets that could make you a lot more money on the road. So once you start running paid ads, those skill sets are then applied as putting fuel to the fire. So for you, let's actually talk about this now. Like, what is your goal in the next 12 months? Where do you see yourself with the REMC? Are you going to be running paid ads? Are you going to be building a sales team? Tell me a little bit more about what you have in mind.
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about the next 12 months. So I did get into, it's called the Science Internship Program at our university, but it basically is just you take a year off of school and you work. You can work for a company, you can work for yourself. And so I've decided to be able to do this full time for the next 12 months. Going to be starting to run paid ads within the next month. And yeah, within 12 months, I do want to have a sales team. I do want to have this where it's kind of like I don't have to be inside of the business every single day. I'll just do like the mastermind coaching calls, obviously fill in kind of what you do now, like just be in the back end of the business more than like the front end. And I do want to like branch out into other areas of like REMC and also real estate and just build my personal brand as much as I can, and like myself, and have my face, like myself as the face of my brand. So I'm really excited for the next 12 months because there's a lot that I did in a couple months. So if you give me 12 more months, it'll be a lot of progress.
Yeah, it definitely. I think you're on the right track. You got everything, got the proof of concept dialed in, and now it just like I said, up to 100K a month, it's just getting appointments, closing appointments. And the best way to get appointments is to run paid ads. And speaking of which, we're actually literally adding into the REMC program as we speak, like the whole video sales letter, how to create a video sales letter, how to make your own unique offer. Should be up after this weekend. So there's like a couple of hours of content there, and then how to run paid ads, and then typically, that should get you up to a really consistent point. And then most clients will typically go into EAS when you start building a sales team and you start removing yourself. But like the key thing is that you build M first, and you build sales, and then you build product. So it's MSP. I think the good thing about people in REMC launch is the P part is sort of taken care of. You don't have to solve the product because we're always doing it as a team, but it's just marketing and sales. So for you, once you get the sales team in place, you can take a step back. And then it's just about the product. I think the best thing that most people can do is just hire some of your top clients and install them as coaches. Like you probably have a lot of top agents, and over time you'll probably have more, and you can just ask them to become coaches, and then you pretty much remove yourself. I think ideally, the goal is like to do like multiple six figures a month, and you removed, right, where you only work 4 to 8 hours a week by choice. Yes, it's going to be time to get there, but I think once people get to that, like the whole concept of passive income, it's a little bit of like a dichotomy, because a lot of people think, oh, passive income is just a real estate, but passive income can be done through a business too, as long as you're outsourced. So yeah, I'm really excited. Like this is a really productive conversation. I think that we're in the right track. I think apart from that, I'm just having to look at my questions here. What's like your biggest tip for anyone that's on the fence right now about joining REMC launch?
I think it's to just know that once you start, you're going to have a network of people to be like that will be there for you 24/7. You're going to have a group of people doing the exact same thing as you. So you're going to have people who relate to your struggles, who relate to your wins. You're going to have people that you can look to be mentors to like Prav. You're just going to have a very good, like solid network. So you're not going to be entirely alone. It's not a scam. It's not like one of these like, coaching gurus or anything like that that's on Instagram because yeah, like I understand hesitancy at the beginning and like, oh, is this for me? Will this work? But you just have to kind of be confident in who you are, be confident in what you like the ability is. And once you grow with yourself and the network that we all have, you'll be able to accomplish everything.
100%. And I think the one part I like with the community too, like we're adding in new offers that people can sell. Like I know you're selling lead gen now, but one of the offers that we're adding into REMC launch is like how to help realtors become coaches. Like you go to people that are like at brokers like EXP or on the fence of joining EXP, sort of like what we were doing, and you could do a profit share deal with them. And sometimes like one client can be worth a lot of money. Like I know if I just look back at myself, I've had instances where people offered me to do profit share with them, like real estate coach, and I always declined because of time commitments. But like at scale, that client could have been a 25K a month profit client. And that's one of the offers we're adding in. Second thing we're adding in is home bar webinars. So how to run home bar webinar, that could be third offer. So a lot of stuff that's working in the background. But yeah, this is awesome. I think that anyone that's watching is going to get a lot of value, especially our female viewers. They can look up to a role model, and you've done a lot. I've got to ask you, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 20 years old.
20. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's crazy. I was not making 20K a month at 20 years old. It's crazy. So kudos to you. That's awesome. Really excited for your growth, and yeah, let's crush it. So do you have anything last minute you want to share with anyone?
I don't think so. I think I've said everything. Like you guys will have everything you need once you join the program. You really will.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Aasiyah, for your time. And then yeah, we'll connect soon. See you.
Thank you.